Welcome to Steve's Vintage Model Builds Academania. It's the second week of January when this will air. And, after the excitement of the holidays and all the fun and all the presents and all the other stuff, things are starting to get back to their old boring selves. So I thought I'd spice things up a bit with some Academania. So these are all going to be sealed kits from Academy, South Korean manufacturer, all 172, and they were all featured in my year-end stash show, and all of these kits are in plastic. They're sealed up right from the factory, and I was thinking about it over the holidays. Some come with plastic, some don't come with plastic, but I'm going to build them all. I don't buy kits to put them away or just display them as unopened, unbuilt. If others do that, that's fine. I'm not don't yeah. So but yeah, it's I got to build kits in the stash anyways this year. Although I did find a way around the finance department's restrictions. Credit card points. They don't have control over my credit card points. So anyways, okay, so we're gonna do 4 kits, 3 aircraft and one ground vehicle kit, and we're gonna start today with the Hawker Tempest 5 British fighter aircraft. As always with Academy, you get very nice box art. As I said, they're a South Korean manufacturer. Only criticism might be they cut off the tail a bit at the top here, but that's for purists, I suppose. You get a very nice, and Academy's great at this. They give you very nice photos of completed aircraft, and they're a lower cost manufacturer, and but they manufacture in Korea. They rebox and bought a bunch of molds, and they've kind of just cobbled together their business. But I've done one kit, a couple kits, and they're pretty good. For the price, they're a good value, and for a novice, for a beginner, for a young person who's just developing basic skills and so forth, then these are great little kits. And the thing is, with the inexpensive kits, if you mess them up, well, you haven't lost out on that much. So nothing worse than picking up a more expensive kit and then just making a mess of it. So, as I always say, crawl, walk, run. And even if you're an oldster like me, getting back into the hobby, it might be best to start with something much simpler, rather than doing like the golf guy does and going out and buying all the best equipment and stuff, and then finds out that he's either no good at golf or hates it, or both. So yeah, so sealed in plastic, and we've got catalog number 12466. As I said, 172 scale, Tempest 5. So we can look at the picture while I, guess what, talk about some history. History time, yay. Yeah, I was the kid with the glasses, so what can I say? Okay, so yeah, Academy, I haven't been into this kit yet, but Academy doesn't usually put or give you any, service or history notes. So I'm winging it today with a bit of help from Wikipedia. So the Hawker Tempest was a British fighter aircraft, primarily used by the RAF in the Second World War. It was originally known as the Typhoon II, as it was a double improved derivative of the Hawker typhoon. And it was intended to address the typhoon's unexpected deterioration in performance at high altitude by replacing its wing with a thinner laminar flow design. Since it eventually ended up being diverging considerably from the typhoon, it was renamed the Tempest, and it emerged as one of the most powerful fighters of World War II, and at low altitude was the fastest single-engine propeller-driven aircraft of the war. For various reasons, development was slowed. There were some design problems, especially with it took them a while to redesign the wing because it was too thick, and that's why it didn't perform well at higher altitudes. The problem was what they call compressibility, which is basically is the measure of a instant relative volume change to a solid as response to a pressure change. You got that, everybody? Okay. In other words, the wings were too thick to handle the compression that needed to go faster. Okay. So, but it was a great aircraft, and it had a top speed of 466 miles per hour, and was deployed. It entered service in 1944, but it performed low-level interception, particularly against the V-1 flying bombs, and ground attack support of major invasions like Operation Market Garden. And so it also proved to be a very effective interceptor for the new jet-powered Messerschmitt Me-262. It continued on in various iterations and was used by the Commonwealth Tiger Force and against Japan and Southeast Asia. And it was eventually modified after the war to become the Hawker Sea Fury. Another trivia note was that it was manufactured beside or alongside the Hawker Hurricane, its more famous brother. But again, there were some development problems, and there's been a bit of controversy over that. As I said, they were producing both aircraft, but it kept coming back that there was a problem with the rear tail assembly, bracing, whatever the case may be, that was holding up its production. And I suspect that somebody sent a letter or a note or nudged them in the club or whatever the case may be. Was that they wanted more hurricanes. Give us more hurricanes. Don't care what you have to do, but give us more hurricanes. So production may have been held up a little bit in that regard. All right, as I say, without further ado, let's get into. Ooh, looks like we've got a top opening box here, which is very nice. And while I'm doing this, just thanks to all my subscribers. My goodness, over the holidays they've just been coming on fast and furious, and so I appreciate everyone who views, and I'm especially thankful for those who see enough value in what I'm doing to subscribe and like and continue to watch. 2 short-term goals in 2024. I'm not going to call them New Year's resolutions because those get broken on January 2nd. First short-term goal is to learn how to use OBS Studio so that I can stitch videos together and add some more interesting stuff. I'm not afraid of technology, but I'm not crazy about it. But I want to learn not only for myself, but to give my subscribers and viewers a better experience. Because I'm sure everybody will agree this is basic stuff. Okay, so yeah, so here we go. Top comes off. As with every Academy model, you get a note here. Check with the parts list before unsealing. Replace and return not guaranteed when plastic is unsealed. And they say you can download the latest version of an instruction manual for this model. I tried to do that, but you can't. So what can I say? All right, so here we go. Yeah, I tried it with another kit I had, and yeah, there was nothing there. I went there and there was nothing there. Okay, so as with Tamiya and many other manufacturers now, they give you a little tip sheet, tools you need, how to do things. We've got Korean and English. And here we have the big yellow sheet. Not all legal stuff. The usual stuff you should do. Read the instructions. Check the part number before you cut it off the sprue. Some people like to cut everything off the sprue all at once. That sure doesn't work for me. I like, unless I'm pre-painting them or something like that, I like to take them off when they're ready to go on the assembly. Okay, use appropriate tools, keep away from children, etc., etc. And then you have it in a bunch of other, I guess there's what? Chinese, Japanese, French, and German. Okay, so let's see what we got. Like most of the Academy kits, we got just one bag here. Nothing wrong with that. Boy, the microphone really picks up that. Right? Maybe I should use something different. Okay, so we'll get this out of here, and so we'll start with clear parts. Not a lot, but there's some stuff here. I'm not going to open this, but the canopy looks perfect, and the windscreen here, windshield. Got a clear gun sight, and this is probably signal lights that go on the wings. Beautiful, perfect. Not vac form. Huh. Okay, and so here we go. So we've got fuselage, propeller. I'm not seeing any flash. We've got pedals. There's some fairly delicate parts here, but no flash. The propeller's in good shape. Spinner. This is labeled the A sprue. Got a total of 4 sprues, including the clear. Oh. Detail. The detail is not great. I'm having a feeling if I really want to be picky about it, I'm going to have to be scraping out some panel lines here. If I really want to be picky about it. Yeah. Oh, and here's a nice thing. They've got the propeller, whatever you call it, shaft, molded right in, so you don't have to mess around with that silliness that a lot of others do. Anyway, basic stuff, kids. And again, we've got panel lines on the wings are nicer. And there's some nice detail here. Paint's going to have to be pretty thin. Cockpit control panel. It's there. There's moldings there. And actually, yeah, you can see some of the hands on the dials and different things like that. But I think rather than a paint job, those will be like silver pencil jobs or whatever, super sharp. There we go. And sprue C is the lower part of the wings. And we've got the drop tanks, the horizontal stabilizers, exhausts. Looks like some bombs here. And halfway decent detail there. Let's go back in. Got a decal set here, 1999 Academy Plastic Models Limited. Oh, and yeah, I think 1998 was the new tool on this. For the other kits, for the Academy decals, you have to be really careful. You can't leave them in the water too long. You have to be like right on top of them. Every half second counts. And as soon as they start to slide, you got to get them off and get them on. And if they curl up, forget about uncurling them. They just pretty much disintegrate and fold in on each other. So, but if you're really careful and you do it right, they're decent decals. And we've got a nice set here. Try not to lose them like you did the Char-Bis ones, Steve. Now, here, they've made a liar out of me. My goodness. Seems they've upped their game since the last Academy kit that I built. Alright, so you get another nice picture here. There's a V1 rocket bomb, otherwise known as the Buzz Bomb. And they flew slow and then ran out of fuel and then just kind of fell down. So it was easy for them to go up and hit them. And because we can't get enough history, Hawker Tempest 5 was first built in 1942, introduced into the Royal Air Force early 1944. Showed impressive aerial combat ability in fending off V-1 flying bombs and providing air support for Allied troops, especially on D-Day. It showed its versatility later on in the war, striking German ground targets as Allied forces moved across Europe. This aircraft featured Hispanio cannons and a 2,180 horsepower Napier Sabre II engine that allowed to fly it at speeds of up to 435 miles per hour. When I looked it up, it said 466. That might have been for a later version. In any case, had much thinner wings than the Typhoon, as I mentioned. And it says here problems with its engine were discovered early in production, and modifications were made that allowed this plane to be very successful. So, looks like more than one person was finding reasons to hold up the development. Huh. Okay, so there we go. And we open this out. It's a brochure style, fold out horizontally. Read before you begin. Right up front, Academy kits are simple. They're basic. But they're fun to build. So there it is. This kit, this kit cost me $42. So I must have wanted it when I saw it. Anyways, so kind of a basic kit. Cockpit tub. There's no figure. I'm hoping the fuselage pieces go together without any problems. This is very simple. I don't think this is going to get any value points. And as always, you have choice of up or down for the landing gear. They give you the paint colors. I don't know if their legend says. No. Their legend doesn't recommend any specific type of paint, just the color. So you're left to the box art, although they do give you some very nice pictures of the finished product. Nice detail here as to how to attach and how it should look. Dyslexic folks like me might have problems figuring out which way which goes. Well, sorry, I'm not dyslexic, but what do you call it? Spatial relationships challenged. Okay, and so here we go. Get all the little bits and pieces and stuff. Gee, this is a weekend build. As always with Academy at the back, you get the sprue map. I think that's the Korean way of encouraging people to read through the instructions first before they even start thinking about assembly. Koreans are smart. And so here we've got, what have we got? We've got a couple of different painting and decal. We've got Flight Lieutenant P. Klosterman, Free French Air Force. 3 Squadron, Royal Air Force, July 1945. And we've got Wing Commander Evan D. Mackey, number 122 Wing, Royal Air Force, May 1945. Excuse me. The Tempest, except for Wing Commander here, the Tempest always started with J, and the F was for France. And so yeah, they give you all the details on how to paint her up. Alright, so that comes up to the rating, and I'll put a card up on how I rate a kit if you don't already know. But quickly to review, total of 10 standard points, packaging 2 points, both external shipping packaging and the manufacturer's box. 2 points for sprues, 3 points for parts, 3 points for instructions. Up to a quarter-point bonus for any wow factor. For example, if they'd included a figure with this, that would have got a quarter-point bonus, but they didn't. So it isn't. And instructions up to 3 points, and then I think I said that. But yeah, bonus points up to a quarter point per category, and then value points up to 1 full point for value. And I rate value based on not just the cost of the kit, but how many hours, how many hours of enjoyment I'm going to get out of it. Not hours of frustration, hours of enjoyment. So value points, I don't take deductions if I think a kit isn't valuable. If it's not worth the money, whatever the case may be, those points would come out of the general kit evaluation on the standard points. So yeah, so we got a total here of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.5. 9.5 out of a possible 12, which is very respectable. And if you know me at all, I'm a very fair, sometimes generous man. I suppose I could ding off an extra quarter point somewhere for the simplicity of the kit, but at the same time, it is what it is. So just be a little careful on your price point there if you're going to get this kit. Okay, so that's it for part 1 of Academania, and I hope you'll join me for the next video and the subsequent videos. And once again, thanks to all my subscribers, thanks to everyone who stops in to view my channel. Really appreciate it. Shout outs to Terry at Hobby Barn. Hope you're doing well, and glad to know you're back home again, and that's great. Always hello to Zinzan, Peter, Stuart, Steph, MD, all the gang over there at Peter Oxley's channel. Oh, and another shout out Zinzan gave, Nigel's Model Bench. He does great reviews, does great stuff. So definitely go in and check that. So thanks again to everyone, and we'll be seeing you for the next episode of Academania.